Those who work with people with mental illness or neurodiversity are trained on how to appropriately provide care. As we have moved away from institutionalization, people with mental illness or neurodiversity have entered the community. This change in setting has resulted in the responsibility of care shifting from trained mental health providers onto first responders in the community. Unfortunately, this increase in community interaction has not been directly paralleled by an increase in training for first responders regarding mental health crises. One of the more fortunate strides our country has taken in the mental health field has been the reduction of institutionalization. In the late 1970s, police came under scrutiny related to their handling of mental health crises, just as least restrictive environment was signed into law. As people with serious mental illness and developmental disabilities were no longer restricted to confinement in mental institutions, any time they were in crisis in the community, police, not trained in mental health, became the de facto mental health worker. The responsibility for managing mental health crises quietly moved into the job descriptions of those responders. Thankfully, a program was developed in 1988 that was designed to train officers on how to effectively manage mental health crises in the community. This program was called Crisis Intervention Training, or CIT. CIT is a community partnership of law enforcement, mental health, and addiction professionals, and individuals who live with mental illness or addictions, their families, and other advocates. It aims to develop empathetic and effective crisis response in the community, as well as to help people with psychiatric challenges or addictions access appropriate treatment rather than incarceration. Unfortunately, not all training agencies offer crisis intervention in their curriculum. There have been cases when people with neurodiversity have been taken into custody who were displaying symptoms of their mental illness or disability, but to the untrained officer, it looked like criminal activity. This has led to hands-on restraint of nonverbal, intellectually, and developmentally disabled individuals. Would CIT result in more positive outcomes? Through systematic review, I hope to answer the following questions. Are the crisis intervention programs being offered today effective where they are offered? Are there populations with mental illness or neurodiversity that the current CIT methods work best for? Are there people with mental illness or neurodiversity that are being left behind? And finally, how can we modify these programs to meet the needs of our community members with mental illness and neurodiversity?